Once upon a time, there was a young man who worked at a big factory. His father wanted him to get a prestigious job, so he hired him as an apprentice at a factory where his friend was a technician. The young man was very serious about his work. At first, his colleagues didn't take him seriously, but he didn't mind because he had an amazing mentor who taught him everything and gave him a lot of attention. The old man told the young man, "Talk less, do more, and never stop developing your skills." So the young man started to work harder and harder. He learned the job perfectly and even some related skills that had nothing to do with his position. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye, and the old man was about to retire. Before leaving, he shared his position with the young man. Finally, he could put into practice everything he had learned over the years. Although the change was difficult because now he was responsible for everything, he was happy to have such solid training behind him. He worked diligently for another 10 years without any major incidents until one day he decided to visit his old mentor. At that moment, the old man already knew that the young man would replace him at the factory, but he wanted to know if his student had become a good technician. When the young man visited him, the old man noticed that he was sad. "What's bothering you?" he asked. "You look upset." The young man replied, "I've done everything you taught me. I work quietly, stay focused, and I've mastered all the skills. But others who have less experience than me keep getting promoted with higher salaries. Meanwhile, I still earn the same as I did when I was your apprentice." The old man asked, "Are you sure you've made yourself indispensable to the factory?" The young man nodded. "Yes." Then the old man thought for a moment. "Well, I think you need a vacation. Take a day off. Use any reason you want. It's time to give yourself a break." Though the young man was surprised by his mentor's answer, he decided to follow the advice. He submitted a time-off request and took the day off. When he returned to work, the factory manager called him in. "While you were gone, many problems came up," the manager said. "Problems that only you could have handled. We've realized how important you are." Then the manager offered him the position of senior technician, rewarding his value and dedication. He was so grateful to his mentor for his wisdom. This, he thought, must be the secret to success. From that point on, whenever he felt undervalued, he would take a day off, and each time he returned, the situation improved. But one day, something unexpected happened. He was blocked from entering the factory. Shocked, he learned that his employment had been terminated. He couldn't believe it. He had followed his mentor's advice, and yet he lost his job. He didn't understand why. He went back to his old mentor and asked him, "Why did I lose my job? Did I not follow your advice?" The old man replied, "You only followed half of it. You understood that people only notice a light bulb when it goes out. That's right, because when it's always on, it's taken for granted. But you left before hearing the second half of the lesson." "What do you mean?" the young man asked. Then the mentor spoke slowly. "If a light bulb goes out too often, it will be replaced by one that's more reliable. Who wants a light they can't count on? People won't value you if you're always absent." The young man was ashamed. He realized that he had been taking too many days off. He thought he was indispensable, but he was wrong. His absence had consequences that he hadn't considered. After a while, the old man continued, "Find the balance, because when you give life balance, life gives you the balance back." The young man thanked his mentor for his teachings and went back to the factory to try to fix the situation. Although his case was serious, the director was willing to listen to him because he was a hard-working and skillful technician. After talking to him, the director decided to give him another chance. As the years went by, the young man climbed the corporate ladder, always remembering the balance his mentor had taught him. He never took more than 2 consecutive days off, and whenever he took a break, he made sure someone was covering his responsibilities. In the end, he managed to become the plant manager. One day, his mentor visited him at the factory. "I heard you were looking for me," he asked. "I received your letter, but I wanted to see you and give you my congratulations." "Thank you," the former apprentice replied. "Everything I am today is thanks to you." If it weren't for your teachings, I wouldn't have achieved anything." The old man smiled and said, "Don't forget, my student, that the most important thing is to be a good person, because in the end, that's what truly matters." He added, "And remember, life is like a boomerang. What you send out comes back to you." The former apprentice understood these words better than anyone else. Now, as a successful businessman, he knew that whatever he did would affect him sooner or later. Thanks for watching, and stay blessed.